All right, guys, what's up, and welcome to Tactical Ashigarami TV. As you guys can see, currently right now, I have a box on my table. Okay, I know many of you may or may not have some questions about the current, MPX saga. The whole little situation I'm dealing with right now, involving Red Wolf Airsoft. And just to go forward with this video and to get things going on the right foot, there will be no showing of any Airsoft toys, okay, in this particular video, right? This is pretty much just for like documenting processes, and maybe for some of you that have some questions, there's a possibility that, you might have or might be dealing with a similar situation. So this is the first time where I am going to be sending something back that is defective, okay, in this case. So currently, as we speak right now, the MPX toy from Sig Air is currently in the box, and it will be sent off back to Red Wolf Airsoft in Hong Kong. So I won't be flipping over the box. All the shipping labels that came with it are literally on the other side. So in this situation, literally everything that came with the box, including the shipping labels, the customs labels, the tax labels, literally everything that came in through Hong Kong and Post and Japan Post or whatever the case is there, as well as a particular form that you do have to complete. Now, I'm not really sure how other distributors do it. Red Wolf Airsoft has somewhat of a process that you kind of have to abide by. So this is basically their request for return merchandise authorization form. Okay, so as you can see right there in its glory, and basically you have to go through these guidelines in order to send any type of merchandise back, whether it's faulty or if you want, a refund or whatever the case is. You have to go through these specific guidelines. And in my case, because I completed my purchase through PayPal, I went through some different proceedings. So once I filed my case, all they said, in my situation was, okay, provide the paperwork, and then, once you, ship the item, give us a tracking, and basically they'll refund me my money in this case, as you guys saw, as per what happened on video. So this is their information right here. Usually, if you have situations where they have to accept faulty merchandise or whatever the case is, because they have to determine the cause of what the situation is. Basically, they have a little somewhat of a system and a process that they go through that you have to abide by. Once you get an authorization number, then that number, I believe, has to be included in the package. So in my case, I'll just be providing the tracking information, and this form is filled out completely, and it's already inside. So as you can see right there, we have request for return merchandise authorization. So please submit this form after completing some basic information below, and our customer service contact will contact you in 1 to 3 business days. Okay. Do not return packages without completing this form and without an RMA number, as your package may be lost or refused. So, right. I guess your best bet. Well, what I did was I completed the form, and I scanned a copy of the form, and I sent it to the gateway pay company, which would be PayPal, also to Red Wolf as well. And naturally you want to have a copy of this inside the box as well. That'll help your case a lot. So they have policies in terms of their manufacturing defects. In my case, this is what that they claim happened to my item, right? So I received an item with a manufacturing defect. Okay, Red Wolf Airsoft will repair or replace the item within 14 days of delivery with no shipping charge. So it's been a little while. They sort of drag their feet with this. In my situation, as per when they will actually get it back, I just sort of want them to refund me. I don't want them to repair anything. This whole situation's been a nightmare. Okay. So once they receive the package, then their technical team will inspect it to determine, what's covered in the warranty. However, you're responsible for the return shipping fee, which is non-refundable. So that's the main thing. So basically, in a sense, it's like this, right? And this is not my first time kind of going through this rodeo with them, involving the whole BCM issue, which sparked a whole lot of other problems. But essentially, basically, if your product that you get from them has a defect, and this is very important for those of you guys who are buying from overseas, more than likely, you will have to, yes, send the Jesus Christ, send the package back to Hong Kong. So I can imagine how much of a nightmare that must be for people that are like in the UK or in Europe or back in the States or something. Like to have to send this back all the way to Hong Kong is going to cost a lot of shipping. For me, I'm shipping from Japan to Hong Kong, and considering the weight of this box is not that heavy, it weighs about 3 kilos, about 3.5 kilos. So it's not the biggest box in the world because thank God it's not that big, the actual product. But if you're talking about something like I don't know, something much bigger, obviously that's going to require a bigger box, more weight, more parts, and maybe a higher cost and more problems. But anyway, so this is their policy involving the manufacturing defect, right? It's non-refundable. If they confirm that the item has a manufacturing defect, which they claim that mine did because, I showed everyone that video and it's public, they will offer store credit with the same amount of return shipping fee for your next purchase. So in my situation, I don't want store credit. I don't know if I'm going to be buying anything from them ever again. I just want everything refunded. They can keep the store credit. In addition, we will not take any responsibilities on package loss or custom seizure during package return. Please view warranty policy page for more detailed information. If you received a damaged package upon arrival, our customer service representative will assist you in filing a claim with the shipper. Please inspect all contents, keep original box and packaging material, and take a photograph for us to communicate with the courier. So this is damage upon arrival. However, you will be responsible for returning the shipping fee, which is non-refundable. So if you notice here, like everything in regards to returning something that is damaged, right, is non-refundable. If I didn't live so close geographically to them, in a sense, I don't really know how I would feel about that. But in my case, the main thing is that basically I send it back to them. That's the whole thing in terms of my case. So for some of you guys that are dealing with these situations, whether they're manufacturing or damage, or whatever the case is, this is definitely something you should keep in mind. They're offering you store credit, but, in terms of, your shipping costs, depending on where you are and, customs, tariffs, especially in other countries, you might be dealing with a bigger problem, right? So they're claiming that they will not take responsibility for custom seizures. All of this has to be, well understood once you fill out any information and you sign in. Incorrect item received. If you received an incorrect item upon arrival, please contact our customer service for exchange arrangement. However, you'll be responsible for returning the shipping fee, once again, which is non-refundable. We will offer store credit with the same amount of returning shipping fee for your next purchase, and reshipping fee will be waived. In addition, we will not take any responsibilities on a lost package or custom seizure upon package return. Wow, okay? You may return an item for merchandise credit, return for store credit, if the item is brand new, unworn, unused, unaltered, and it is in its original packaging within 30 days of receiving the package, I guess. You will be responsible for any return shipping fees if the item has a manufacturing defect or damage upon arrival. We're going to call that DUA. The original and returning shipping fee will be store credited for your next purchase. So once again, store credit, store credit, store credit. Basically, right, whatever happens, they're not responsible. They waive responsibility. So in my situation, I just sent this document to them, claiming that they what's waived and what's not waived. I send this document to PayPal, so that way they can get a really good understanding of the situation. So return for refund. Okay. You may return an item for a refund if the item is brand new, unworn, unused, unaltered, and is in its original packaging within 30 days. Of a receiving 20% restocking fee will be applied. So, okay. I'm not sure about this restocking fee, but they claim they're going to give me the full refund, so we'll see what happens. Exchanges, once again, you will be responsible for shipping, okay? And return shipping. You'll be responsible for all related repair and shipping charges. Please review the warranty policy page for more detailed information. You also submit this RMA request via email to All right, so they want the form, right? You get the gist of what the whole situation is, right? Basically, there's a whole lot of word soup. Some of it is not even grammatically correct, but basically, you're responsible for the shipping. Yikes. Okay. If you live far away, I'm sorry about that. And this is definitely something that you have to take into consideration. Like, I've never seen this form from them, but after rereading it right now, I'm like, okay, it's gonna make me think twice about ordering anything from these guys. Here's the information once again. So you have to fill out the order number, first name, last name, address, your city, state, zip code, country, email, telephone number. What's the reason for return? Defective merch. D, damage upon arrival, receive incorrect item, purchase incorrect item, others, please specify. And then for the last page, basically, you have to list the item that was sent for, warranty, repair, upgrade, refund, whatever it is. List the item here, which I did. And then if the item has a defect, explain the defect here. And then you have to read this once again. All right, waiver, by submitting this RMA request, you verify all claims made on this form are 100% true. And understand that any false claim may result in the denial of your return or additional shipping. Storage and processing fees. By submitting this request, you also verify that you understand the agree to Rwa'S return and warranty policies. Red Wolf Airsoft Specialist Ltd. reserves all right to change the items and conditions in relation to warranty and return policy without notice. Of any case disputes, the decision of Red Wolf Airsoft Specialist will be final. So I signed and I dated this. And I sent a copy to PayPal. The main thing is they in that situation like with mine, they want them to just get, okay, all right, what is the shipping information, for the handling, okay, the tracking ID, tracking link, the courier, okay, what is the status of the shipment, is it being shipped, and basically any other relevant information like labels, additional details, and things like that. So, this is going to be interesting. Stay tuned, and I hope it comes up to something positive, but, whatever happens will happen. And, I'm sending this from Japan with all the labels as what it is as, toy parts. So, if it gets seized, well, we'll see what happens from there, right? So their whole thing is they sent me an email basically claiming that they want me to send this back through airmail. I'm gonna pull up that email real quick and show you guys on video. I'm literally making this video for that very purpose of just sort of stating, my grounds. There's a whole lot to consider, man, because the thing is, some of their AEGs that they offer on their website might be marked down, but by the time they get to you, there's like no one really knows what can really happen. Damage upon arrival, especially when you're ordering an expensive AEG, is scary. So now you have to ship that back, right? Under non-refundable shipping guidelines. So that's something you guys got to take into consideration. That's not ideal, but at the same time, you don't really have a choice. Okay, so this is my email thread with them. Basically I let them know exactly what's going on, and their final response was basically, okay, they apologized, we're sorry for the late response, right? It's most likely the circuit has been damaged. So they sent me this email after I sent them the video. I posted the video on YouTube showing what happens when you put a battery into the MPX, and they will, inspect it or whatever the case is, and they're going to do an investigation and blah, 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 blah. So, this is basically what they're saying here. You have to send, basically the package to this, right? This is the address here. You have to send it here, right? Basically, you have to complete that, write the order number, and regarding the shipping fee for the return item, please use regular airmail through your local post office, not EMS or courier. We will store credit the returning fee for you once we confirm that our items have problems. Please keep the shipment receipt issued by the post office and send us a copy of it, or you can include it inside the package. I'm definitely sending you guys a copy because I need that, because that has to go to PayPal as well. So yes, you see it right here, guys, regular airmail and not EMS. So this was sent to me through EMS. I will be returning it back through airmail, and we'll see what the result is in, maybe 8 or 9 days or whatever the case is. I was supposed to go on vacation as of tomorrow, but at the time of this recording, but because we had, some recent situations, earthquakes, tsunamis, and also a pending typhoon, that will be put on hold. So let's see what happens with these, Red Wolf Airsoft situation. So once again, guys, if you have any questions about, this process or what I'm doing right now, go ahead and comment in the comment section. Hopefully this video is not boring. For those of you guys who are ordering from them, I hope that this is informative and maybe you'll learn something from this video. All right, guys, take care and see you soon.